Good evening. Welcome to Damageless D&D. It's Tuesday. No, it's not. It's Sunday. I don't know what day it is. That's amazing. Well done, Chaz. It's Sunday, so therefore it's the investigators. Well, DM, what are we investigating?
Just thought, was anyone going to do a recap for today?
It was meant to be Bug,
Was it?
because I did the last one.
Yes, that's
Would
true.
have been.
Oh,
We
it's
got very
Saturday.
off track on this.
Yeah.
Not to worry.
I
So,
played PD. You didn't tell me.
it's all right. Don't worry.
The recap is essentially fire, burn, Sasha Pretty.
Fair recap, yeah.
So, last time you guys woke up in the morning and come up with Morgrax had the idea that you may indeed be in the midst of the challenge set for Sasha by the Dream Lord. The challenge that was going to be completed to gain the third and final piece of the key. I think Mazdak and someone else had, Atan, I think, had run off to go and speak to Grandmaster Stanyard whilst you were investigating other options, and then you come back, went off to Passa, and the follow through on the ideas was that the challenge was to put Sasha in a bit of a nightmare scenario where there was a fight that she couldn't take part in. A potentially very dangerous fight where her friends were in a lot of danger. She had to stand there and watch. Eventually, she sort of ran away a little bit.
Practically.
Cowardly.
If you can't see the fight, it's harder to dive in,
If I
which
can't
is
see
a
them, they
fair
can't see me.
analysis. Sorry, Joe?
If I can't see them, they can't see me.
Sort of. But eventually, the fight was won. Nobody died. And yeah, I think we're about picking up from there. Did we get any further than that?
No, I don't believe so.
No.
So yeah, we pick up in the aftermath of the fight. Is Sasha around? What are you up to?
I came back when I eventually realised there was no more fighting going on.
Okay. So, you are still here.
Indeed. Can I just sort of, as I know the rift has gone, can I just sort of reach out to the weave and see if there's that presence there still of the old god of time? Can I sense him in the weave at all?
Make a check. Make your weave check.
That's probably not going to be great. It's an 8 on the dice, which means it's 17. So it's not that bad.
Not bad. Yeah, you reach out with your senses, having sort of opened the weave and peered in. Yeah, you can sense it there.
Okay. And is future Mazdak coalescing more? Do I get his presence in a more sort of coherent way?
Yeah, you definitely feel that even more so.
Awesome.
Yeah, your attempts to try and piece him back together within the weave have definitely had an impact.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. Then I shall just open my eyes and see. So, I think we've done it. Sasha,
Yes,
do
it would
you have you got anything? Contact from the Dream Lord? Is there a piece of key that you've been given?
I don't think so.
Are you going to go ask him?
I suppose.
Well, it makes sense if this is all about you and you're meant to do something and you've done it. You should go and say, look, I've done it. Give me what I need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mazdak was able to manifest himself into contacting. But yes, your willpower is strong, Sasha.
I don't feel strong right now.
Don't worry. I'll take care of you. And I'll go up and hold her hand.
Awesome. So, I'm guessing, Kral, you want to, before anybody gets here, just, chop something up?
Yeah, so Kral's basically sort of like literally bent double, just hands on his knee, just still continuing to slightly hyperventilate, and then just like, right, yeah, okay. And then he's going to get to work with the greatsword and start to carve a piece of this thing off.
Sure, you can.
Is there much point in doing that? We're in a dream after all.
Well, doesn't mean I can't study it.
Suppose so.
It doesn't mean that the result you get from it would be true.
Things are strange in dreams.
Like Mazdak, you've done a lot of work with the weave since being in here, and although the weave is essentially around us all the time, what you've done, will that stand to last when we get out of this dream nightmare situation?
I don't know. We could even be completely out of the dream now. It depends. And what I'm going to do is try and do the whole it's a dream so I can be wherever I want and find myself back at home in my room by using the power of dream.
You tried this last time, and
I
the
did.
Dream Lord kind of went,
I know. I'm just trying to sort of bait him, basically.
Okay. Just roll me some sort of check. I think.
A check of some kind, you say?
A dream check.
Check for dreaming.
Dream check. No, I'm going to make it an intelligence check.
An intelligence check. Okay.
No, it should be a charisma check. Make it charisma.
A charisma check. Okie dokie.
This is going to go well.
Damn straight. Natural 20 for 23.
That's one.
You close your eyes and just
literally just
will yourself.
Close my eyes and go, it's just a dream. So I just snap my fingers and appear in my library in my room.
You do. Mazdak disappears.
Well,
I like being in a dream. It's fun. I will send a message back to Bernia. Actually, would it be Bernia? Let's have a look. Who's in my little book? Who's in my book? Yeah, Bernia. I shall message you. Hi, Bernia. It worked. I'm back at home in my room. Therefore, we are still in the dream. Very much so. You should probably get Sasha to talk to the Dream Lord.
Good to know. Mazdak has confirmed we are and still in the dream, so... Sasha.
Are you here?
I am always here.
Creepy.
Did I pass your test?
Entertaining it was. Yes, you have succeeded.
Thank you. May we have that piece of the key now, please?
You will have it when you wake.
I'm going to try something here.
Oh,
I'll break the silence.
Okay.
So Bernie's just told us that Mazdak obviously confirmed we're still in the dream. Bernie's just talked to the Dream Lord, even though we didn't see it.
Sasha.
Yeah.
Sasha, sorry. But yeah, I am just going to do that thing where it's going to be like, I'm going to wake up now and see if it works.
Okay. Make a charisma check.
Yes, 16. Nearly forgot how to do maths there.
you actually going to tell us what you're doing, Fitz, before you do it, or are you just going to disappear?
Yeah, I'm just gonna, like, Mazdak's done it, so I'm just gonna, like, see if I can wake up.
All right.
Attack could always wake us up in the waking world.
Yeah. So you will yourself to wake up, and you do.
Still in our home, I take it? We're not,
Back in your bed in your house in Kantichi.
and nighttime?
Early morning.
Early morning. Okay. So yeah, I'll go around and do the rounds, and try and wake everybody up.
Before Mazdak is awoken. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Okay. As you go around, who do you go to first?
I'll go to. I think I'd go to Bug, because if he was left in a dream on his own, I don't think he could figure out what to do.
Could be bad. But true.
Harsh.
Okay. So you go into Bug's room and you try and shake him gently and talk to him.
Yeah.
He will not wake.
Ooh. Ooh. I'll try Mazdak.
Same thing.
The same thing. Okay, so I'm now going to try something even weirder here to see if this works. I will cast message at Mazdak.
I thought you were going to put his hand in a bucket of warm
Back
water.
up warm water. I know, but that is a good idea. Thank you for the next
Thanks.
person I come to.
Okay.
And
So you cast message. What do you say?
so I'll be like, not sure if this will work, but I willed myself awake. I can't wake any of you naturally. You'll have to do it in the dream.
Do I get that?
Roll a d20 for me, Fiddy. Straight roll.
Not till 20.
Natural 20.
Gross.
Yeah, I was like, you hear that loud and clear.
Interesting. Mazdak will stop trying to fill every bookshelf in his room with books that he remembers, because he's just like, dunk, 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 dunk. I own all of these books now. Oh, right, okay, I will myself back across to the rest of them.
Okay, charisma check again.
Okie dokie.
These are challenges of willpower, I guess. So you have to
17 this time.
yeah. So you jump back to the group.
Right, so still in the dream, but Atan has managed to wake himself up, but messaged me to say that he cannot wake any of us up. So I think we have to will ourselves awake. So much like I can will myself across town, you should will yourself awake. I volunteer to be last out of the dream. So
Hey, I'll
Close
close
my
my
eyes.
eyes and say, I want to go home. I want to go home.
do you click your heels together?
And
Yeah.
put my heels together. Yes.
Are you wearing red shoes?
I don't know. Probably. I like
You've
red.
probably singed shoes at
Fiery
least.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, go and make a check.
What do you want me to check?
Charisma, please.
Charisma.
Charisma.
That's a good old 12.
Bug clicks his heels together. There's no place like home. And goes nowhere.
I thought you said all you need to do is think about going home. Doesn't bloody work, you lying bugger.
I said you have to will yourself awake.
Yeah, that's what I did. I said I wanted to go home and stop being in this stupid place, and nothing happened.
Well, that's not quite the same as waking up. You have to remember we're in a dream, so you need to wake yourself up.
How do I do that then?
Well, you have to will it to want to be awake.
Well, I did. Because I did want to be awake, but it didn't work.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
you termed it as going home. You need to think about
Wake
it as
up.
waking up.
You are at home already. Wake up.
Okay.
I was going to slap him across the face.
Okay.
Not necessary.
Well, it might shock you into being awake.
It might. But it might also mean you burn to death in your sleep. Along with all your fucking books. Sorry.
Oh, somebody has definitely got a bit of a anger issue today.
Short fuse?
Yes, he is quite short and fusy.
Short
I'm
and
just going to
fusy.
close my eyes and try and wake myself up.
Okay. Make your check.
Check, isn't it?
Yes, please.
17.
You go nowhere.
So did the slap round the face do anything for me or not?
Stung a little bit.
Stung a little bit, yes.
Hmm.
Got me a
Sorry,
little bit
Bug.
annoyed.
Can't
Doesn't seem to have
wake
worked.
up.
No, it didn't, which is a bit annoying.
Hmm.
Especially as it hurt.
Oh, I didn't mean. It's really very unlikely that Mazdak would hurt anyone with a slap. He is built like a wet noodle.
Yeah, probably do damage to him. To be
More of
fair.
a gentle caress across the face.
It's
Harmless
also-
but delicious.
Yes, exactly.
Why can't
That's
we
like
wake
fractures
up?
his hand.
You can't wake up. Interesting. So, okay. Hello, Mr. Dreamlord. If you don't mind, I'd quite like to talk to you.
What would you have to say?
Well, I've got many interesting theories and some questions. So the first question would be, if you wanted to affect something outside your domain, so outside of the dream or the nightmare, the real world, or the waking world, not real because this is still real. But anyway, getting off point. The point is, could you, and I'm sure you could, affect something in the waking world using the power of dream? So, for instance, I teleported across town just now. I can't do that in real life, in waking world. Is there any way for me to learn to how to bring a creation that are created in a dream to the waking world? Mazdak's completely off topic, by the way.
Yeah, I'm glad I can't hear this, otherwise my brain would have just exploded.
No.
No. Okay, interesting. It's a shame. I'm sure there's a way we could do it using reef magic, but perhaps it's for the best. Anyway, the other question is can you allow us to wake up, or would you rather keep us here?
You cannot wake up until you sleep.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
Okay, thank you very much. You're most helpful. I suspect we may chat again.
I do hope not.
Oh, a bit rude. But anyway, I have many different theories that we could talk about, and he's gone, isn't he?
He was just a voice on the breeze.
So, it's... Oh, right. I'll tell the others what I've learned. We have to sleep before we can wake up.
As Mazdak starts talking, his mouth just begins to knit shut.
This is very good.
And then it's open again.
That was...
To a slide.
Oh, I see. Right, yes. Okay, you're the boss around here. No, I understand. Anyway, we have to sleep before we can wake.
And how was Atan able to wake?
Atan is a very powerful sorcerer, and therefore probably could will himself awake because of the innate magic and connection to the world that he has. Or he's just, a really light sleeper.
Right, well, I'm going to go to sleep then, don't I?
Some might say the luck of the dice.
Lucky roll.
I suppose
eh?
that we have most of the day to pass. If there's anything anyone would like to get done that you couldn't get away with, were we in the waking world? Now's the time.
Oh. Going to go for a picnic, Sasha?
Dream big,
I thought
Bug. Dream big.
I thought Bug was going to go on a murderous rampage there with the ooh.
No, to be fair, I thought he just
Kind of
start
what I was
setting fire to-
expecting. Yes.
just start setting fire to buildings.
Yeah, after the city burns down.
No, I don't want a bite of your pork sausage, thank you.
Oh, now who's getting rude?
I mean, that's a bit weird.
Well, I suggest we go to our house in this dream and go to sleep somewhere comfortable.
I'm just going to turn around and start walking because I'm not. My brain can't cope with the whole dream, being yourself back home again, and just walking away.
Well, Mazdak will totally try and teleport himself into his bed again.
Yeah, well, now you're sort of getting the hang of it. There's no point in rolling for everything.
Right, sleepy time. Just wink out of existence and wink back into existence in my big comfy chair.
Carl just matches up with the, his menagerie and just has to ride home.
Sorry, Ash. Just what was that?
Crom basically mounts up with his menagerie, and has a flow ride home. So the cannon's basically just bouncing up and down on the rear of the horse in its little sort of mountain location.
Yeah, there's some music that follows that makes it seem like you're in a western.
Yep. He expects nothing less.
Slowly strolls through town on horseback. Tumbleweed rolls by.
Yeah, he's going to basically lean into the bit though, so he's got the sword sheathed on his shoulder. He's just basically riding with the rifle on his shoulder.
Nice.
Nice.
Cowboy turn.
Yeah. So is everyone just strolling back? I mean, it's sort of reasonably early morning, like 10 o'clock or something at this point. So it might be difficult to go and have a nap, but you can try and will yourself awake or spend some time in the dream world.
I think Mazdak is fairly exhausted. He's been doing lots of weave magic and sort of running on adrenaline, so it's entirely probable he would just fall asleep.
Well, I'll go wherever Sasha's going.
Sasha, what are you doing?
It's taking a slow, silent walk home.
And I'll slowly, silently walk with her. Trying very hard to hold her hand. Persistently, you could say.
Annoyingly, others would say.
Maybe they would. Romantically, you mean?
Could be.
There's a fine line between romance and stalking.
Just ask
And
any
that
91
fine line is a
club.
restraining order.
I mean, Bug is still alive, so Sasha must be soft on him somewhat.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't tried to kill him yet, so you know.
Exactly.
That's high praise indeed.
Quite right. So, is there anything anyone wants to do? Or are you
Not
just
specifically.
Yeah, okay. Or you can go back to the house, eventually have a nap or wait till the evening and go to bed. And, Atan, you're not waiting too long. I mean, out of game, the time frame difference between the two, the time dilation is a lot of time passes in the dream to not that much time outside. You muted.
Yeah, I literally just said that. I was like, I'm fucking muted. Seeing that it doesn't look like I can wake them up, can I just leave the house and find the first person who is walking about the streets close to the house and just be like, what day is it?
Well, it's Tuesday, isn't it?
And we went to sleep on Monday?
You fought the first time you fought the fight in Paso was a Monday.
Cool. And, the date?
The 13th. What is wrong with you?
We, have had a bit of a weird couple of days. Just double checking that no longer time has passed than we may have thought.
I'm fine.
Thank you. And yeah, I'll just go back. I just didn't want to I wanted to make sure that like a week hadn't passed and we'd been like...
Everyone wakes up.
First time we went in somewhere and came out a month later.
Mm. Yeah, so the rest of you go and spend some time relaxing in the dream. Eventually you go to sleep, wake up in your beds. Sasha, when you awake, you realise you are holding on to something as you wake up.
Oh, lucky bug.
Ooh.
What part of bug are you? No, don't answer that.
Is that part of a key you're holding, or are you just...
Happy to see Buck.
So, you are all awake.
So he lied then.
About what?
Being able to affect things in the waking world. Sasha now has the key.
Oh.
He can, you can't.
I did ask if it was him, if he could. So he lied to me. Okay, that's cool.
Let's just go. The character lied, not the DM fucked up. The character lied.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Alternatively, the key always existed in the physical world, and he just moved it.
Or that. Or could just
Sorry.
be he didn't want to tell Mazdak anything. Why would he give his
Also
secrets away to Mazdak?
As soon as I wake up with the key, I will head downstairs with it, toss it to Mazdak, and then just go outside and start training aggressively.
Okay.
I'll go and
So
sit on the stoop and watch Sasha training. Not weirdly at all. Ever. Never. Not me.
Uh-huh.
So, just a question here, DM, to clarify things. We've had a long rest?
Or have we?
Or have you?
Or
Yes, you have.
Okay, cool.
Yay!
And was my healing potion actually used up?
No.
Excellent.
But I would have to take those grenades out of my inventory because they were
Yes,
dream
you
grenades,
used
weren't they?
2. Or,
Yeah.
however
I-
many you used is what's gone.
Well, no, because they were dream grenades, weren't? No, they weren't, were they? Yeah,
No,
we
the
used two.
originals you bought before
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first one, which was real.
Yeah, so 2.
Should get more of those.
Cool. So you'll all be pleased to know that no time has passed. It's still the second day of the week.
Good.
So we've lost no extra time doing that challenge. So, as plans were, Vidikito away.
We need to make sure of everything that is happening before we leave for Vidikita. You need to make sure that well, I have things on order from the smithy, but also I'm thinking we have the key, but Mazdak, you said that the room in that testing place, the one that you showed Severin to,
Yes, what about it?
which we may need it for what we need to do.
Oh, yes, sure, of course, that's what we would... Ideally, that would be the best place to do that. So I currently have the key of the Dream Lord and the pendant of Vastro. I think, Bernier,
I
you have the
have-
other piece, don't you?
I have the one from the one of Hanumo
Yeah.
that we got from Renee.
Okay.
Another question, Mazdak.
Yes.
How is your weave capability? We've obviously spent 2 days in that dream, and you did quite a lot, but...
Do I remember most of it? Or all of it? Or any
Yeah.
of it?
No, you do.
Okay. I will...
Just do an intelligence check for me, Mazdak.
Intelligence check. Okay. Natural 1 for 6.
You think so?
Yes, of course. I remember all of the things that I did in the dream world. So replicating them out here shouldn't be a problem.
Yes. the first thing I think is, like you said, you started to piece future you back together in the weave.
Yes. Oh, excellent. I will check, and I'll check to see if that actually has happened, and I have pulled future Mazdak back into a more sort of
Steady form.
coalesced form.
Yeah, make a weave check.
The weave check. 21.
Yeah, you can feel his presence much more defined now.
Yes, I opened my eyes again. Yes, that seemed to have stuck.
But it makes sense, doesn't it? The weave's
Yes.
all around us, and our
Well, the
divine
weave is the weave.
friends here.
Whether we were
could-
dreaming about the weave,
Yes.
or actually the weave is still in that plane.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't, then, well, yes, it has to be.
And during this, Mazdak, you feel the presence of your book.
I will open my book.
As you open it to the page you normally do,
You've sent me a big long
you see
message.
a wall of text. The ink is just
Tiny writing. Wow.
Go get your magnifying glass.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to read this, and I'll sort of wander back off to my room to read it.
I don't remember how long the order for the belts was for me and Sasha.
I didn't have about one order,
Oh, you didn't have one. I did have one.
because I didn't have enough
Yeah.
money for the one that I wanted.
You done that a couple of days ago, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did it a couple of days ago, and I think I still had half the pay, and I don't remember how much that was. So let's take a check.
I can certainly give you the price. What was the class of belt?
Here we go. I did 1,250 gold down payment for Belt of Stone Giant Strength.
Yeah.
Although I am just now realising. Oh no. No, that's fine. So, was that half paid?
That's half paid, yeah.
Cool. I'm going to need to get my payment from. I'm going to need my payment from
Lucrezia.
Lucrezia.
Lucrezia before I can actually finish purchasing that. I think, depending on what the Mazdak has gotten, we should check in, make sure Several is doing what we need him to do, and make sure that Lucrezia is aware of what we are going to do. I'd want everyone to be prepared before we go and fight that thing.
Yes, and the plan is still to use Cantice's teleport circle to go over and then travel by horse.
Yes, we will have to travel through Sandemia, which I don't think will be a problem, but I'm not exactly... if they do recognize me, they're not going to be exactly happy with me.
Just as a reminder, that you guys would all know that the teleportation network is shut down for 3 days before
rift.
and after a rift.
We'll still have to wait to teleport, so we should use the time wisely. Prepare.
Question, DM, and it's not a hard one. I can learn teleportation sigils.
Mm-hmm.
Never asked this, never had to do it in game before in anything whatsoever. How long would it take me to learn the one for where we're going? In Poitosko.
Where would you be able to get that information? Well, I suppose I'll start with one of the others who've been doing this for a while would at least be able to tell you that it's dangerous to teleport because you don't know when you will end up.
No, I think so. Mazdak filled me in with
So
everything.
I'm just saying, just because the wizard shut down that network doesn't mean you can go and like learn the thing and do it manually.
No, my idea was for us to travel outside of Kantiti and then do it.
Yeah, but no.
So my understanding. Anywhere. Sorry, because when you've told me about Conturara, I thought it was because she was near it, not.
No, she was nowhere near it.
Right. Okay. Don't worry. I misunderstood that. It was
3
nowhere.
days where we cannot teleport. Today, tomorrow, the day after.
Technically.
Oh, should not teleport.
So, Mazdak come back out of his room. Right, so we need to teleport, but we can't because of the. So, perhaps we need to accelerate what is happening in the lab with Several, as he's rebuilding the teleportation devices to other dimensions.
That is perhaps something that yourself, Kral, and Atan can help with.
Well, yes, I was rather hoping we could go and see Grandmaster Stanya to get his input on this, because he understands chronology, which is the time manipulation. So he'll be able to tell if Several is able to work on these teleports at this time. Because if this could be dangerous.
But he should be, because it's technically its own.
No, he's working
realm, isn't it?
with teleportation magic.
Yes, but it's a separate. It's a pocket dimension, isn't it?
Yes,
is it
but
not
even
more
so,
that he is, to use an analogy that I can understand better, he is building the crossbow, not firing it.
well, rebuilding, but
Yes.
yes,
And
but he will have to test.
he can wait until the moment has passed from the rift.
Yes, but he doesn't know.
Then let him know.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We should get Stanion, because he's not going to take my word for it. I'm not a member of the council.
Several also does know about teleporting during rifts. It happened to him when he
Yes,
faced the
but
Brigitte.
he doesn't know there's a rift happening. He's down in the lab. I don't think we mentioned.
I thought you'd been told. I thought they mentioned it. Because
I-
you went
I-
down to practice your rift manipulation down in there whilst he was fixing it.
That's true.
Yeah,
Did
But
I
did
say
Mazdak
anything?
say what he was? I thought you just said we were planning for something. We were staying here in town to.
Yeah, I mean, I might have mentioned it, but
I don't remember it being mentioned.
yeah, I don't.
There was
think
limited
I did.
conversation
Yeah,
between
because
the pair of
he was
you.
busy and I was busy, so yeah.
What we should do is those who are magically minded in that kind of matter go and assist Several where can be done.
Right.
If he does not believe you about teleporting during a rift, then
He's stupider than what you say he is.
he is also one that we have told about, inside the bubble.
Yes. Is he?
So I'm pretty sure.
I think we had one conversation with him in a bubble. That was mainly to do with Contarara and
Yes, that's what I'm.
Dursk. It was not about
Implying that.
rifts, But yeah, I mean, he knows that our plan is to go to the realm of where the gods are to kick some butt.
Whilst you are doing that, the rest of us can be preparing for the fight with the Ridugita.
Of course.
It is going to be difficult. I warn all of you now. I watched that thing tear apart leagues of men.
Ah,
In
but
one
we
of the
have the
largest-
instructions on how to.
In one of
get
the
rid of it.
largest skirmishes of the war between Valaya and Sandemia, I was the only survivor. We do not mess around with this thing.
Well, no.
I was about to say I was there too, but wrong character. He's dead.
Ah,
No, only
get
survivor.
over it! Oh my god!
I also think, Sasha, I do not know. Oh,
I'm outside.
She is outside. I don't think Sasha has had much luck, but I'll pull out Maraga. I have not been able to connect with this weapon. I think I will need some magical assistance to guide me. So that is part of what I am going to be investigating.
What do you think you need to do to connect to it, Bernia?
I do not know. This belt worked fine, but there's something not. I don't know if it is the nature of the blade or if it is something else. But the
Above
usual...
table? Just remind me what it
Oh,
was.
Above table, it requires you to spend some time diseased, and Bernia doesn't. I'm going off of the basis that being able to attune to the dwarven kind, Bernia is assuming that's how it works, but it's not seeming to work with the blade. She can't connect to it, so she's going to try and investigate to find out how.
Disease or poisoned? Because I can do poisoned for you.
Diseased. But again, Bernia doesn't know that. So
Mine's even more complicated.
she needs to find that out in order to then go, okay, how do I get diseased for a day? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sleep around.
I was going to say something, but I just didn't.
I thought you were playing Sasha, not Quarantine.
Bug wouldn't know what to do with quarantine.
Right, okay, so
So,
if Atan and Kral, if you're amenable, if you go down to Severil in the lab, I'll go and talk to the Grandmaster.
I shall go and speak with Lucrezia.
May I just suggest one thing? Nobody goes anywhere alone.
No, that is a good point.
We can't afford to lose anybody now, especially not any of the pieces of what we have.
Mazdak, you're going to speak with Grandmaster Stanyard. You should take
Well-
someone with.
I'm just thinking as well, sorry, Kral, is it worth you coming with me? Or is it worth you staying here to study our
You don't
foes
have
from
the
yesterday?
plates of those creatures
Um,
from the first
But-
one.
from the first one, Lucrezia did say that she would make sure that I got one of the bodies.
After, no, of course you can't have any of this.
Yeah, with our argument. So, I don't have anything to study right now, so I think it'd probably be a good idea for me to come with you.
Yes, and Mazdak, maybe you can expedite that from Lucrezia, so Kral can get that sooner rather than later. If we can get that done in the 3 days before we go,
Sure.
it may be an up for us fighting this thing.
Perhaps I go with you, Mazdak, to. Perhaps I go with
I'm
Mazdak to.
just going to the library and then to see Grandmaster Stanyard. I don't think I'm going to get into any trouble going to the university where I'm supposed to be.
Even still.
Okay?
I remind you, Mazdak, we found that part in that little research place completely burned and scorched. There are still people trying to stop us.
Right, yes, indeed.
So I was going to suggest that perhaps Morgrax go with you.
Okay.
She is very capable and can keep you safe. And I will take Sasha and Bug to go and speak with Lucrezia and to investigate about arms and armor, etc.
Sounds like a plan then.
Yep.
I'll go and get Sasha.
And yeah, I'll look at Kral, give him a nod, and then leave. Oh, actually, before I do that, I'll be like, Mazdak,
Yes.
one of us needs the key to get in.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, we can let you in. It's right beside the university, so we can go together. And I can let you
Yes,
in,
marvellous.
and then shut the door behind you, as it were. And if you need to get out, Several has a key.
Marvellous. Okay. Yeah, we'll all leave to go to Lucrezia /
Okay.
that.
Right. The first stop then would be the statue outside the building. So that's that. You unlock the statue, let Kral and Atan down, and then leave, keeping the key.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. Okay, and then you guys carry on into the actual building. So yeah, Atan, you head down the stairs back to the lab, wander around the large outside, begin to hear noises as things are happening in that main chamber.
It sounds like tinkering noises. It doesn't sound like anything else.
It's just massive explosions. No, yeah, normal sort of tinkering noises.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, what a little tinker.
And to get Fiddy's head on, this is Several we're meeting, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The rogue member of the council.
Yeah.
And Brendan's dad.
Good morning, Several.
Sort of, he's like up in the air, flying, just zipping around, doing things. And he sort of looks over his shoulder like he already knew you were there and just finishes off what he was doing before swooping down to land gracefully on the platform. Good morning, afternoon, whatever.
It is morning. Kral and I are here just to let you know that if you're anywhere near close to finishing, don't test the teleporter yet. There's been a rift up the top, so it may do what it does.
Yes, I am aware of the rift and aware of the dangers of teleporting after one.
Yes, but also Kral and I are here to lend a hand, speed this up if needed.
Yes. That won't be necessary. It will take me longer to get you up to scratch, and I don't even know your intelligence levels.
Do I feel like I would gain a grasp of this pretty quickly, considering that I can teleport myself?
This is... Well, just make an intelligence check for me and we'll see what that's at.
I fucking love this dice. I really do. My intelligence is dog shit, but that's an 18.
Okay. So, this is beyond anything that you've come to understand about magic. This is as much mechanical as it is weave manipulation, as it were, and even then it's wizardry style of doing things rather than innate that you are familiar with.
Yes, that's understandable. Is Kral no use?
Kral
Would
would
it be-
probably be in a better position to.
So, obviously, with his previous employment, shall we say, would he recognise what needs to be done and how he could, in fact, support Severill with this? So he could focus maybe on the weave, and Thrall could do the mechanical side of things.
Yeah, but you've got to make an intelligence check as well.
Okay. That's actually not too bad. 20 total.
I mean, I'd say you sort of understand the theory of it.
Yeah.
That there is this large chamber and it I don't know, generates power. Or at least it's... Let's make up some sci-fi bullshit.
Kind of like a
It's like the entirety of the thing is concave. It is a circular shape. And concave shapes are known to
Are we talking Cerebro?
like focus. I suppose very cerebro, actually. Yeah. So all of the energy that is within it can just reflect and refract and focus in on a central point. So yeah, you kind of understand the theory of it, but the magic that's being used, and it will take you a while to get up to grips with what's happening.
Yeah.
And most of this is kind of suspended. It's why Severill flies around everywhere.
Yeah.
But if Kral was to stay there, he could quicken the repair side of things, couldn't he? With his
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. Well, it looks like I'll be no use. Sevill's quite right. This is completely out of my league. But Kral, maybe you can stay here and quicken up any repairs. What Severill needs to be done.
I can help on the mechanical side of things and make the repairs quickly. I mean, I'm familiar with the theory, but practice I'm not so good with. But the mechanical side of things I can probably help you with.
Do you know how to use a spanner?
And Kroll basically pulls out his sort of all-purpose tool and just flicks it, like almost like a six-shooter. But every time he flicks it round, it changes tool.
That doesn't answer my question.
Devilf, you seem like quite an astute person here, so take the help where needed, and it's given.
It's fine. I'm pretty good with a spanner.
I mean, he's obviously being extremely condescending, as is his nature, but he also looks tired beyond belief.
Yep.
Right. Well, if you are not going to, if at the very least you don't get in my way, then okay. Just observe for now. Can you fly? It's difficult to get around here without.
Yeah, I can make myself flat when I need to.
And
Right.
Atan will look at Kral with that side-eye look, knowing that the last time he made somebody fly it was dragon wings, and then bid good day and walk away, not wanting to see that atrocity.
Do not touch anything until I say you can. You just watch. I will explain things as I work, and if you begin to pick it up, then I may give you a small task to do.
Oh, and Seville, before I go, do I need the key to get out, or can I just get out without it?
No, there's a release on the inside. You can get out without the key.
Thank you.
Right. Watch closely. And he just flies off and carries on going. But we'll leave the pair of you there. Atom, were you going to head back to the house or into the
Yeah,
council?
as I'm right there, I'll probably head up into the Mage Council area.
Yeah,
Okay.
essentially, Kral's pack comes off, his cloak comes off, tool belt goes on, and then like his apron, well, it would be like a little waistcoat thing with extra tool pockets, just ready.
He is not prepared for you. Okay, so then, Bernie, you heading to Lucrezia?
Yeah, I'd take Sasha with me if she was amenable.
But we're already going there, but yeah, okay.
You were heading to Stanyard, I thought.
Yeah, same place, but
Yeah, I got all of you together, and then like Atom and
Okay.
Kral peeled off, and then
alright. Fair enough.
Yeah, head up to speak with Lucrezia.
so come in as you knock on the door.
Yeah. Good morning.
Morning. Good work yesterday.
Yes. It was interesting. Turns out we got caught up in the machinations of the Dream Lord.
I'm sorry, what?
We got to repeat the fighting and closing the rift a few times. The Dream Lord
Oh.
testing us. So we
Oh. Right, okay. So you did that fight three times?
the creatures got worse each time.
Oh, fun.
But
Wow.
that is not what we're here for. Oh,
Well, you should probably don't forget to wake up.
we have done.
Have you though?
I put it to you this way: if the Dream Lord is sitting here listening to this conversation, I am going to start hitting him with my sword. I'm quite done with his machinations. And I am sure Sasha would quite like to do that as well. But,
I'm not even sure if he has a corporeal form.
I would find a way. Oh, how has your bug collecting been going?
Oh, lovely, lovely. I'm getting some nice hide of Notharil in there. There's
Good. I keep
Very
forgetting to do that. We're come to check in on everything. Blaine, we have all the pieces we need now. We're keeping them safe until what needs fixing can be fixed. But in the meantime, we're intending to go and try and deal with the Ridikita.
okay.
So we are trying to ensure that we are at the top of our performance for that. So we need to collect what we are being paid
Oh,
for past couple
I
of days.
should have known. You weren't popping in for a friendly chat. You want?
Unfortunately, business is business, and I need to pay the Scalebanes for something they are collecting for me. But it is also, I would quite like to pick your brains as someone who knows a lot about magic and is not as busy as Mazdak or as talkative as Mazdak.
Rude.
Okay.
We have
Keep
these.
sorting out piles of money. Is yeah.
Myself and Sasha have these weapons to be found. but we have not been able to find a way to connect with them.
Okay. Can I take a look at it?
Certainly. I'll draw out Moraga and place it on the desk. It has a bit of a foul essence. I think it is connected to Hanumo. Is it Hanumo or is it Istala? This one was Istala, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Istala. Yeah, Hanumo's murder. Istala is disease and
Disease,
plague.
poison, yeah.
Either way, Lucrezia touches it and dies instantly.
Well, I mean, I can just feel the
I have spoken
malicious
with
power
Nagale.
coming off of that thing.
I have spoken with Nagale on it. She seemed okay with me claiming it under her name.
Okay. Well,
Disease and insects are part of her domain as well.
yeah. There's often crossover, isn't there? So this this sword, very powerful. You want to use it, but you can't get the full.
Just like this belt, the dwarven belt.
Yeah.
I can feel the magical effect of it, but I cannot feel the effect of the blade as I hold it.
Okay. Well, normally, as you know, with your belt there, people just spend a little bit of time just connecting, tuning themselves in with the object, and obviously you've tried that and it's not quite worked. There are other things that require, and they're very uncommon, which, sensing by this, it might be the case. But if an object sort of serves a particular purpose, like a belt, I mean, other than keeping your trousers up, it doesn't serve much of a purpose, if you know what I mean. If a sword like this was once used by a champion of a god or something, then it was serving the purpose of that god. And for another to be able to connect with it in the same way, they would have to sort of almost prove themselves or succumb to almost the will of the object. So a sword like this might actually need you to play around with disease or plague or something like that. You see what I mean? You instead of it falling into your will, you kind of need to meet it
halfway.
Yeah.
That means that a weapon of death would require me to die.
Just say that again.
A weapon of death.
Yes. We have,
Well, that could go one of two ways. Either you need to die to be able to connect with the weapon, or you need to at least kill somebody with it. I don't know. It could. I don't know the rules. I hope it's. Well, I was going to say I hope you don't have to die, but that implies I hope you go and kill someone with it, which I don't think I can condone either.
I'm not sure how comfortable I would feel.
I wonder if there's anyone who might be able to give you a more definitive answer. I assume that say Mazdak has identified these items, and that didn't give
Yes.
him the information.
Not as far as we are aware. He did not tell us.
Okay. Well, that kind of does, give credence to these being extremely powerful and deity-connected items of weaponry. Maybe. Oh, you said you were going to go pay up with the Scalebanes. Master weaponsmiths, then.
Perhaps they're the ones we need to ask.
Possibly.
I think we should go and investigate that.
I mean, we do have researchers and things that do dig into this sort of thing, but you'd need to leave it with us and we'd stick it on a backlog for about 6 months before we finally got to it, what?
Given our current deadline, that
Ah.
is
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah, so maybe try the weaponsmiths.
We cannot get to the Ridikita yet. We cannot teleport for a couple of days, so we don't have time to figure this out. Thank you.
Could always get on a boat and start heading over there the old-fashioned way.
I'm not fond of boats. As you said, not having the ground beneath my feet. I think it is a thing to do with my connection with Plymouth Valley.
Well, true, but, water's part of nature too.
I think I've always connected more to the forest part of Nagale. The trees. I like trees.
Trees are good. I like that this city's managed to keep quite green, There's always trees and beds around. It's nice. It's easy for big cities just to go all stone.
I'm trying to remember the name of the capital of the Lyre, and it has escaped my mind.
Blimey. I have the map.
Do I have it written down?
It's
in my
H.
notes?
Oh,
Very funny.
Thanks, Nat.
It's Vela.
Vela.
Yeah, as in Vela.
Villa is a lot of fortifications. It is very stone.
Well, unfortunately, that sort of happens when such a... You know your history better than I do.
I would hope that all of this would convince them that peace is what is best, but I don't think that will be. I think we will deal with the situation, and I give it a year maybe before there are operations happening again.
Yeah, you're probably right. Although, I don't know, maybe we can hope a little bit. Maybe given the extremes that several went to try and get some sort of ceasefire. Although they backfired spectacularly.
I think that is an understatement.
Yeah. It at least did stop the fighting. And maybe that can hold. Maybe. I can only hope.
Right. We'll the gold.
Hi, how much do I owe you?
I don't know.
Above table, when did you last get paid?
I'm-
When we... Yeah.
I can't. Did we last get paid when we returned?
When we return, because
from-
my gold is looking quite healthy. I remember I had like
Okay.
400 before. I've now got 700 odd, so 300 sound about right for.
So how
2
many days we spent in Antishi, considering we knew the rift was coming?
Well, we did
Three days. Was it? 3 days.
three times, so mustn't forget. So we've got to get paid for all the extra time we did this in our dreaming.
I don't think that's going to count.
course it is.
If you were in the dream, you could imagine yourself being showered with wealth and
Of course,
in the
that's
head with
right.
coins.
Just send someone less on to collect. It was at least worth worth asking about.
I thought, yeah, you were gonna head along Morgrex and try and
Oh, I
Do
still
the-
plan to do that. I've just been distracted by the events.
I mean, it's possible that Morgrax and Mazdak had popped in to check in before going to speak with Staniard.
Oh no, I've left you three too. I've gone on my own to see Standard.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What happened to Don't Go Alone?
We've left Kral
This is
alone,
Mazdak we're talking about.
so
This is
Well,
Mazdak we're talking
Kral's
about.
with several. Oh dear.
Yeah, technically he's not alone.
Atan was allowed to walk from the lab to the council chambers alone. Come on.
yeah. I'm
We're
inside
so good.
the
We'll
council,
plan.
inside the
Ooh,
university.
luck- Lucky council.
I'm just gonna go and see Standard. I'm in the building, so
Yeah. So yes, we'll call it 300 gold each, 100 gold per day, per person. So yeah, you can each take that. I mean, obviously,
Perfect.
With an extra 100 per each for minimal destruction of Kantichi.
that was never negotiated beforehand.
No.
How much, sorry, was that?
300.
Yeah. Then we'll make sure that gets distributed. Thank you, Lucrezia.
No problem. Hopefully, this will all be sorted soon,
Hopefully.
and you guys can get the recognition you deserve.
Yes. Although I intend to find myself a homestead in the wilds. I'm quite
Nice.
done with fighting.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Let us head to the Scalebane Forge, Sasha. Yeah, the only reason I remembered that name is because of the reference.
Okay. Well, yeah. Before we get to Mazdak and Staniard, we'll take a quick break. I think.
Okey-dokey. Cool. Right. Okay. We'll be right back after these sponsorship messages, which we don't have, we never have had, and we probably never will have. So yeah.
Capitalism.
Yeah. Fight the system, brothers and sisters. Fight the system. And welcome back. Fight the power. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
So we pick up with Mazdak wandering off alone to go and speak to Grandmaster Stanyard.
Yeah, I will reach his office and knock on the door.
Right, come in.
I'm not doing. Ah, Grandmaster.
Oh, Mazdak.
I
All right.
just wanted to sort of check in and make sure everything is okay. I'm a bit concerned about Severill being on his own in the laboratory. I know I've asked Atan and Kral to go and assist, but I think perhaps someone with more magical leanings, such as yourself, may be better to interact with those portals. So, not that I am. I'd ask respectfully if you would perhaps just maybe look in and see what can be done.
Hey, that makes sense that I should go and check in on him, make sure he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it's just that given his track record, whilst I admire his skill and ingenuity, he cannot be relied upon to do the right thing that I think that we can.
He has a history of...
Oh, who'd we lose? Oh, Dan.
he has a history of, going off on his own, doing what he thinks is best instead of what...
Yes, so perhaps that's... I'm not saying that he would, because I think that he's genuinely trying to help, but
I think so too.
Just an overview from yourself or another council member, or probably yourself, as you are the head of the council, would be better.
I think I can find the time to go and pay him a visit.
Okay. Do you have a key to that lab?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I can give you this one. I'll take this.
Oh, okay.
Is there any way to replicate this, do we think?
Oh, let me take a look. There's a little scan over it, and there's a... there's some sort of... You recognise, identify being cast on it.
Yeah.
There's some complicated magic going on there, but could potentially be replicated, but it might take a short while.
Well,
if you want this back, I can nip off and check on him and then get this back to you.
Absolutely. It's just that I obviously, with the weave manipulation, it's probably the safest place for me to practice that, so that reality doesn't fall over and bend upon itself, and my brains explode out of my nose.
I was a little concerned when I saw you starting to practice that sort of magic, but I think it might come in handy.
Oh, absolutely. It's already helped us with the rifts. I'm confident that any rift now can be at least partially contained and sped on its way.
Yeah,
so yes,
good.
I think that's very good, and I think with the battle with the Ridagita coming up, I think this will be very helpful.
But my understanding is there's one rift to go.
There is, yes.
Which is the one that ends things.
Yes, indeed.
So
yes, the more practice I can get...
I'm not sure you're going to be able to contain that one.
I don't know, but I have to try.
Of course. Well, things are coming to a head.
Indeed they are. So,
lots of things we need to get sorted first.
Exactly. So we've got a couple of days in town before we head out to our appointment with Ridagita. And then we'll be back to deal with the laboratory and its intended use.
Aye. Aye. Okay. Well, thank you, Master.
Thank you, Grandmaster. I will speak to you. Oh, just a quick. Perhaps you could sign this book. It will allow me to send a message to you whenever I.
Of course.
And you can send one back. So
to explain, I know the magic. It's fine. He pops his
Awesome.
head down.
So I've got one more space left in my book. Thank you, Grandmaster, and I will head out, possibly finding the others before heading back to the house.
Is that Mazdak's way of gaining followers, getting people to sign their book for their souls?
He's doing a better job than.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I get the sense that Sama isn't. I get the sense that Sama isn't the kind to keep books around. I think he's the kind of person that thinks reading is for nerds.
I mean, could be.
Okay, so Bernia and Sasha, we're going to head off to Scalbane's.
Yep.
What?
Don't know if my order is in.
Bug, did you stay at home?
No, I was with Sasha,
Okay,
holding her hand so she doesn't get lost.
naturally. And I presume you're going to continue to do so to the Smiths.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Grax, what are you going to do at this point? Atan's probably caught up with you, so.
I'm not sure because I've been abandoned by everyone at this point. So
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
either be
maybe-
with like those guys or Morgrax. Mazdak, sorry. Whichever one I would bump into first in the chamber.
I think maybe after the last few days and not being able to get in touch with Amriel, a visitor to her temple may be in order.
Okay.
So I'll wander off and do that.
Yeah. Cool. You can wander off that way. There's a part of the journey which will be with those heading to the smithy. You can peel off and go do your thing.
Sweet.
Kral, quickly, you have trouble keeping up with Several as he's whipping through things, not through a lack of your own understanding, just from him only half explaining things as he goes, because he clearly gets distracted by like, oh god, I've got to go do that thing, and yeah, but you start to ever so slightly pick up an understanding of what bits connect to what, how all of this is going to concentrate energy, and where it's going to direct that once it's collected.
Cool.
So we'll get to the smithies. Yeah. Just gonna. Cool. Yeah. So you wander in. There's the usual female in there. Difficult to tell.
A dwarf, who knows?
Oh, hi.
Good afternoon. Is my order back in?
Eat. Come in first thing this morning, just in time.
Ah, wonderful. I have the rest of the gold here for it.
Superb. Thank you very much. Let me just go pop out back and get that for you. And she
That
wanders
was-
off, comes back with
Is that another 1,250?
yeah.
Excellent.
Slams this thing down on the counter. That is going to make you a formidable person.
Ah,
I'm sure you already are, but this will get you some extra.
the years have sapped my strength. This will be good. We also have some questions about some weapons that you might be able to help us with.
Okay, like weapons. Kind of my forte, you might say.
Yes, well, they are magical, and I'll draw Moraga.
Oh my, look at where
Yes.
did you get that?
It is a long story, but
Okay.
cannot connect with it. Like I have with my Belt of Dwarven Kind, I cannot... There's something not quite working properly.
Okay.
And I do not know enough about these things to figure
Right.
it out.
Let's take a look then. She sort of slides in front of her. I've been called many things in my years. Like a smith and a hammer and a weapon person, but they call me the Blade Whisperer. You gotta talk nicely to your blades to find out their secrets, you see. And she sort of does all these weird things like popping an ear to the hilt and running a finger down the flat of the blade. And there's clearly some magic involved in this as well. She's sort of talking. She's sort of talking to you as well while she does these things. So this is clearly a special sort of blade. It's definitely tied with a guard, not a nice one.
Istala, I think.
Yep.
But I'm looking to claim it in the name of Nagale.
Right. Well, a weapon such as this, you see, she pulls out some dust and just like sprinkles it on. A weapon like this, you gotta be. It's got to accept you. It's not like it's like this belt where you just got to spend a little time getting to know it, if you know what I mean. Right? But you have to try and show it that you're worthy of using it.
Right.
And this blade likes diseases.
Right.
She sort of just carefully pops it back down.
So
I would hazard a guess that you need to get a disease. Strange as that sentence is to say.
that is, yes, that is interesting.
If you've got a disease in you, then it will try and bond with that.
Right.
Once
and
you've forged that connection, I suspect you can cure the disease and still be friends with it. But you're just proving yourself to it, you see.
Let's see. Proving that I am hardy enough.
The other one.
This grin of like, another one! Oh,
Yes.
it's my lucky day. I should be charging for this service.
Ah. I'll
So-
put
So yeah, as she hands the greatsword back to you, Bernier. Yeah,
I'll put
I
the
reckon.
on the counter for her.
Oh, thank you.
You have done me a good service.
I mean, I get to speak nicely with these quite malevolent blades, but it's fine. It's fine. Right, what have we got here? A scythe. Don't see many scythes in use. That one's clearly got some intent.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Same thing, is it? You want to know how to connect with it?
I want to know if I should.
Ooh, well, I can't answer that for you, but I can tell you how if you choose to.
That will be a start.
That one was Vastro, was it not?
Bagava, yes.
Oh, I think I've even heard of this one. It was a legendary warrior, a once champion, not like top champion, not like Jakuto, but there was a top champion who forged a scythe to use, dedicated all the kills to Vastro in his name, And eventually, Vastro deems him worthy of actually imbuing some of the power of death into a scythe. All those legends about the creature of death holding a scythe came from this guy and this weapon. But the thing is, you need to show that weapon that you're not afraid of death. And you need to die.
I have a feeling it'd be something like that.
But if you got a friend who can revivify or whatever, they can bring you straight back. I mean, it'd be pointless if you had to die and then stay dead, then you'd never get to use it.
Indeed.
So yeah, get yourself murdered. Have a friend on standby with a diamond. You might be around.
Bring you back
I
with a kiss.
do not thank you, Bug. But I do not require diamonds to be brought back.
Oh, yeah, nice. That's handy.
I would say if there is anyone here that is not afraid of death, that is Sasha.
It's not me I'm afraid of dying.
Yeah. I hear you. Strange times, but it's not me I'm worried about. Well, I hope that is useful information. Whether it's good news, or you decide.
It has been illuminating. Thank you. I have always found dwarven techniques and rituals fascinating.
It's a rare day when anyone can make anything better than a dwarf.
Oh. You two are welcome here. You three, sorry, are welcome here anytime. And if you find any other strange legendary weapons lying about in your adventures, feel free to bring them to me. And should you, I would just say this, should you choose not to use those weapons and you want to make a bit of coin off it, I'm sure I could do a deal.
You would be the first ones we came to.
Is there anything else I could help with?
I'm still saving for one of your magnificent belts.
Good stuff.
They're not lying when they say these are built for giants.
Say that again?
They're not lying when they say these are built for giants.
Yeah, I was going to say to your friend, we don't make them in our house. These are giant made. You see, that's why I had to order this in. So you can thank the giants for the craftsmanship of this. But wonderful smiths they are, especially now.
Explains the size.
Yeah, they do shrink down though. Part of the magic. Kind of the giants to do that.
Yes, they are interesting people.
Possibly wouldn't sell quite as many if they were all giant-sized.
Well, if the giants wanted to keep them to give themselves an advantage in combat, then it might be a smart move. But those fire giants in the mountain, aren't they doing all right? But they do it for the craft. Good folk.
Right. Thank
I'd
you
like to get
very
my
much.
hands on whoever it was blew up that mountain, but you know.
Thank you very much for your wisdom
I
and
believe.
your services.
That's quite all right. Anytime.
Now
Take
to
care.
go and find how to catch a disease deliberately.
Well, I mean, there is the island.
Island?
Did you hear the island where all the strange old creatures turned up?
Not particularly.
Oh, right. West of, it's part of Canticia, but it's just west. It's an island. There's only 2 settlements there.
Right.
Like when the rift started going off, there were some like old creatures that turned up and started attacking the towns and things. There was reports of a infection of sorts there. Don't know if it was a disease, whether that would do for you, but there's at least some way you might be able to try to find one.
I'll ask around about it. See
Or you can nip to the brothel. Just saying.
I think I am past that.
Are there any lepers around here?
I think I have lost enough limbs.
Yeah.
Thank you. Head on out and probably head back to the house unless Sasha needs anything. Or Bug.
I don't think so.
Bug's
I'm
just
just saving for
out on
Belle.
Bug's out on a date.
You're the third
Yeah,
one.
I think I'm saving up for a engagement present.
There was a box with a ring. I don't know if that got sold.
I think that got sold.
Yeah.
Tune to the belt. And watch my strengths jump. It was Stone Giant strength, wasn't it?
Yes.
The one I had on order. That's what I've got written. Cool. So I click this button, my strength jumps up by 7 points.
Bloody hell.
How much are those
Takes me
belts
from
still
16 to
going?
23.
Oh, we lost the crowd.
How much
Takes
were
me-
those belts of stupid strength?
The one that I got was 2,500 total.
Yeah, I clearly priced that too low, but I can't go back now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saving for. I'm not even halfway there yet. Just under
It has
halfway.
completely wiped me out of gold. But yeah, that puts my to hit with my great sword to plus 12. And Moraga, isn't Moraga got like a plus 3 or 4 on it? I don't remember. I'll find out when I can tune to it.
And he's
If
back.
you can.
There we are.
So, what's the plan then, guys?
Heading back
Rex,
to the house.
you're heading off to the temple.
Yes.
You doing anything in particular, or just having a sit quiet pray?
Just I'd sit and chat. I like to imagine that Morgrak has a relationship with Amriel similar to Bernia and Nagali. That's kind of, a nice quiet conversation.
Yeah.
Metaphorically over a cup of tea and a plate of biscuits type of thing. She has to get it from somewhere.
There's a lot of people think that like Amriel doesn't really talk, doesn't communicate directly, but you and a few people just sit and gossip with her, and it's just like you've got a book club.
It's not about getting information, it's just in case, I know it's only been a day for you, but for me it's been 3 days. It's nice to chat to you again. How are you? Guess what's happened? Etc.
Yeah. Certainly nice, calming, and fulfilling conversation or experience that you get, having been sort of separated from her for a couple of days. It's nice just to get back in the place and have a natter.
Indeed.
So what are we up to? All converging back at the house.
Yep. So Mazdak will wait, because I imagine he's probably first back at the house.
Yeah,
once-
I'd have probably met up with you and gone back with you, coming back
okay.
out of there.
Right, so, we have a couple of days. Interesting.
Well, I was thinking if they would teach me the portal to Potoski. Potosko?
Pytosco.
Then maybe we could start making our way there, and if we needed to, can teleport if we're not there by time.
Well, DM, sorry, question first. How long is it until the big portal? It's a couple of weeks, isn't it?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay. Well, we don't... The only thing we need to be aware of is the big rift in 3 weeks' time. So
Yes.
there's no actual mad rush to get to the Ridikita like today or tomorrow. We can wait for the teleports to be working and just teleport.
I'm just thinking, we know where it is, don't we? If it moves again, it may take longer.
I thought it was asleep.
It is, but how long for? It's already been 3 days. It's been asleep. Not knowing anything more about these creatures, how long do they sleep for? Is it like a hibernation for them?
No idea.
Months or yes?
So
So I'm thinking,
at least that if it does wake, it will cause some harm to people and lands around it as it travels.
Yes, it is incredibly dangerous. Yes, I think we obviously need to get there as soon as we can. But what I'm saying is, any teleport spell used at this time, whether it's a teleportation circle or a personal teleportation spell, is incredibly dangerous.
yes.
You might end up anywhere.
Indeed, yes.
Could indeed be just a smear of paste on a floor somewhere. So, by all means, learn the teleportation circle for Pytosco. That would help, obviously. The furtherance of knowledge and quickness of, if we need to get to Pytosco, then we could go from, after we've beaten the Ridikita, we could technically teleport back to Pytosco, therefore avoiding that delay to get to the teleportation circle to go back to Kantichi.
Well, I can already get back to Kantichi, so that's no problem. That's one I know already.
So
But
perhaps...
yes, I was just thinking of doing it quicker. At the minute, and several. I mean, it's the second time I've met him, and he is very obnoxious,
Well,
isn't he?
Well, obnoxious, I think, is the wrong word. Focused on his working life, because he's a for all his faults, and he does have one or two, he is a great wizard. One of the possibly the greatest. He has achieved things that nobody else has. So I think we can sort of give an allowance of dickheadedness up to a point.
No,
I think.
I get it. Hence why leaving Kral there. I mean, I know how to teleport.
You left Kral with Severo
for the mechanical side of things.
You left
Well,
the guy that set off the big pearl of power with the guy that blew up the volcano.
the
Hey, I'm new to the group.
Kral is how can I put this? Very clever, but has a certain way of doing things and speaking to people, which may clash with several somewhat. I'm not sure that was a fantastically great idea, but I'm guessing there will be no explosions.
One would think that.
But anyway, I was going to wait until everybody was back before letting you know. I have asked the Grandmaster to look in on Severo and maybe just have a little oversee and make sure that nothing off topic is going on, given Several's track history.
Yes.
So
Smart idea.
I've given the Grandmaster my key to the laboratory. He'll be giving it back after he's paid a visit to Several, so that should be interesting. Several, Kral, and Grandmaster all in the same room. Interesting. Okay. Well, as social interactions go, that should be a doozy, as they say. So, what news of other?
I take it everyone's back by now, yeah.
Everybody else back yet?
Yeah, just Kral that's out, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll repeat and tell that everybody that I've asked the Grandmaster to have a little look in on
Right.
Several, and the work is proceeding as expected rather than off in some new tangent that Several has thought of.
It is possibly wise.
I think
Several
so.
is. I've myself and Sasha have been investigating about the weapons.
Right.
Your gold from Lucrezia as well.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
We spoke with Scalebane Smith, and they have given us guidance on how to get the most out of the weapons. But it is
Right.
not ideal in either case.
I have
This
to
is-
die with mine.
Oh, well, that's that's probably not the best thing. I'm presuming you're just going to sell that then.
I don't know. I don't plan on dying, but
Well, if you go through it, we must make sure that Morgrak, I'm pretty sure you have diamonds on you, don't you?
I don't require
so.
diamonds for my resurrection. Amriel
Oh,
has wished, has deemed it so. I am
Handy.
that warrior. Barbarian thing.
As for this one, I would need to bear the burden of a disease to
I mean,
align with it.
does seem a little extreme. Well, I understand these weapons
Yes.
are very powerful, but are
That
you
is
sure this
my
is the
character.
correct thing to do? I know if
That is,
I was talking about dying or catching a disease in pursuit of some magics, doubts would be raised, I'm sure.
Hmm.
So perhaps we could afford you the same doubts. Is it is it strictly necessary to have these weapons? Are other weapons not available? Perhaps purchasable. I mean, I have
Honestly,
gold
It's-
if you need gold.
That is a fair assessment, Mazdak. I am unsure. Nagale is, as far as I know from our conversation, okay with me using the blade, but I do see that argument,
Right.
whether it is worthwhile,
Yes.
whether it is a good idea.
With
This
what
is a
you have
blade
now.
of Istala. I have a serviceable blade. It is effective.
I am not unhappy with my own blade either.
Then potential more chaos into this already chaotic.
Indeed. It would require a journey to get a disease. The scale
there's,
basement was talking of
There's an island.
an island.
We went to
It's had
Do
some
you
rifts on
recall,
it.
Sasha? There was where there were large sort of dinosaurs, creatures from the past, and there was who was with us? It
One
was
of our first rifts.
yes, the very first rift.
Dalen and Bivnox.
Bivnox was with us, and Dalen. And we found the disease that was affecting the water supply, if you recall.
Well, Bernie, I'll ask you one question. I mean, it could actually work out in the end, but for how long it would take, I don't know. But do any of your family members suffer from diabetes?
Athan, with the exception of Several being my father, I have no further family.
I'm sorry, what?
Thought I had told you all of this. Several, I am most certain, is my father. He likely went through Valaya when he was leaving the elves for not wanting to give up his life. I am unbothered by this.
I know, I thought the family was complicated.
So, if you were Several's child, have you thought about perhaps taking up magic, wizardry? It's a very good school to be in.
I do not have the mind for wizardry.
Oh, I'm sure you could, if you applied yours. Wait, you have a half sister.
Which is part of why I was so angry. That it was her that first made me think about it. I saw a resemblance of my younger self in her.
Right. Okay. Have you been in touch? Perhaps you ought to go out for coffee.
Perhaps, but I think she may wish to still be lying low because of everything that happened, with Several abusing her trust in him.
Oh, yes, possibly. Yes, indeed. But I could send her a message if you wish.
It is fine.
Oh, okay.
It is not something I am worrying myself over.
I see. Well, in that case, we have a couple of days to prepare for our journey to Pytosco. Teleport there, and I believe there's a day's walk from the teleport center to the site.
Yes, we now have our horses, don't we? So that
Indeed we
would
do.
cut down that time. I was talking to Mazdak before you all got back. We don't have to, but my train of thought was on the Vidigita is asleep. We know where it is at the minute. Do we set off now? Has anybody travelled by sea before? Do we know how long that could take? And
we travelled by sea once to go to Hunamo Island. But how long would that take to get us there? Would it not be more
not
efficient?
necessarily to Pytosco from there, because I know it's all the other way round of that part of the continent, but if we could get over from Kantisha and travel, could we not get there in the same amount of days by horse?
Well, Pytosco is almost the exact other side of the world.
We'd have to take...
This would take weeks by sea.
Yeah, take a ship to Balfosland, travel across land.
This would take weeks and weeks.
Sandemia to Pytosco, and crossing that border between Valaya and Sandemia is not always the best option. I understand where you're coming from, Athan, but I think we are better to wait and use
I think
use the time to hone ourselves.
Trying to do something for the sake of doing something.
Potentially, yes.
So I understand your impatience to get going, but the safest and most efficient thing to do is to wait until teleportation is available once more.
Yes, it's
I mean,
probably just my old.
It only takes a day or so to get to the island for this disease.
You have put the doubt in my mind about the blade. I think I'm going to need to spend this evening thinking on it.
Oh yes, I was just suggesting that if that's what you wanted to do, there is a possibility we could get a boat to the island and investigate to see if the disease is still there. I thought we had dealt with it, but perhaps it's still there.
Yes.
But
Well,
yes,
maybe
I mean,
wake up tomorrow and see what you feel like, Bernier.
I think I'm going to have some meditation and perhaps consult Nagale again. Seek
Have
her
you-
guidance.
Sasha, have you spoken this through with Morgrax, perhaps, about this whole dying thing? Seeing as you both share the same god, isn't it? I think. Is that
Also
right?
a question if you have spoken to Amriel about it.
Well, yes,
Sasha.
quite.
I find that I don't really speak to Amriel as much as she speaks to me.
Right, but you know, it's quite important. This dying thing. What if we can't bring you back?
As I
What if
said,
there
I'm
is-
not looking to die.
Oh, right. So you're going to sell the scythe?
I-
Probably for the best.
Don't know.
Ooh, I wonder if I could deconstruct its magic. Perhaps if
feels
Kral and
dangerous.
myself were to take it to pieces, we could perhaps channel the energy of the magic of the item into something else.
I feel like Vastro might take issue with that if he was the one that put the magic in there to begin with.
Well, yes, but I'm fairly certain that I could draw the magic out using the weave to pick apart. That's an interesting concept. I wonder if I could take
I'm
apart
going to...
magical items and move the strands of weave that's in them to something else.
Mestek, perhaps this is a project for you to do after we have dealt with the rifts.
Oh, possibly, yes. Perhaps it is. I have 3 weeks.
I think now is the
could go and
time
do some
for us to
research.
be. I think now is the time for us to be focused on our objectives and our goals. We have to deal with the Ridagita and then prepare for our mission, as it were.
Like I said,
Okay, yes, no, I agree. Preparation is key. We should do more research and into possible moving of magical power structures. Mazdak.
Perhaps some research on dealing with abominations may be prudent first.
Mazdak's gone. He's just trying to work out if he can take out tiny bits of weave out of magical items.
Morgrax, what is your thought on all of this with the scythe and the sword?
I would question the necessity of it. You're already dedicated to one god. You have a weapon that requires a partial negotiation with another. I know they're very powerful weapons, but are they needed? Does our victory hinge on the use of them?
Only if they can damage things in a way that our normal weapons could not. But we don't know that. And
We have
it
no idea
will
what
still
they're going to
require
use.
my death.
I don't like that bit.
Yes, that I think is the reason why you should go to the temple and speak to Amriel. As you say, you have special conditions around your usual resurrection. Perhaps this trial would impose something else on you.
Oh, wait. I have had an idea. And I'm going to cast the privacy bubble.
What
So,
is it, Mazdak?
the weapons that you have, Morgrax has just sort of implanted an idea into my head. Morgrax is very good at this sort of thing.
Morgrax is very wise. We
Yes.
should listen to her a lot
We
more than
should.
we do.
We absolutely should.
Yes.
But what if, because our intention is to use the laboratory to go to the realm of where the gods are and try to convince them to let the old gods out so that the god of time, or the older god of time, stops these rifts, so therefore stopping the end of the world. So, what if, because the weapons that you have are for two of the gods that are more, how can I put this, more in line with Conjurara and her goals than, say, Amriel or Nagale.
Istala and Vastro gain a lot from the apocalypse.
Exactly. So, what if we are fated to use these weapons against them? So, Istala against Vastro.
That is something that has been lingering in my mind. What
So-
kind of weapon can harm a god?
But also former mortals as well.
That is
Exactly.
also true. But they have spent a long time in the realm of the divine, which is one
Yes.
thing that is making me concerned about having to fight them. If they've spent long enough in there,
Maybe we
And
don't
maybe we
have
look-
to fight them. Maybe if the weave is keeping the older gods imprisoned, if I'm in that realm, I may have better access to this weave to move it apart to let the older gods free. So that
that would be chaos.
no, wait, wait, hear me out. It is not chaos. What we need to do is get rid of Desk. The older gods and the newer gods could assist us in this if we explain things correctly and properly and calmly, rather than going in guns blazing. Show them that we have the means to fight them. All right, we might not win, but how many of them can we take out before we go
would
down?
most certainly have Nagale and Amriel on our side.
Quite.
Possibly Tursith and Leosol as well, but
But
that's
yes.
certain.
The point is, the older gods, we don't know much about them at all, so perhaps we need to be having conversations with them. If the god of time I spoke to briefly, he just wants to be free.
We need to make the gods understand too that what is coming will basically be the end of them as well.
Yes.
Nobody left, nobody to worship.
Well,
Apart
there
from the
still
few
people
which
in
are,
that
but
apocalypse, which
yes,
is why
but
Yes, but you've got to remember
It's
the
going
gods
to
that
be-
want the apocalypse are the ones, the gods of death, the gods of disease, because that will be rampant after most of the population is gone.
what's
Well,
not to
it's
say
not-
that they're the ones who haven't instigated this?
Well, quite.
it is
Desk
interesting.
is the instigator.
Is she?
I believe so.
Would she be?
Because all of this happened before she went back in time, but then she did, and everything got rewritten. And
I wish we
oh,
had
thinking
that
about this
dragon.
makes my head hurt.
We need to get the old gods and the new gods talking at least, and we need to get
Mm.
them, both sets of them, to remove Desk as head of the gods.
She will not go without a fight, and that
Yes.
brings us back to the point of what weapons can harm a god.
Well,
Because
Plainly.
that is what she is now.
plainly, the gods can harm each other, so why not their magics?
It's true.
Sorry, above table.
Yeah.
All of this started happening before Contarara
Or
went back
Contra
in time.
teleported. But then
So
the
it was
timeline
gonna happen.
changed.
anyway, right?
So the instigation of it all was Severil setting off the spell pearl and
Yep.
breaking the bonds on the god of time, just enough for him to get a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah.
From that, the new gods have been divided on how to handle it, and Vastro and Estala especially are more than Vastro, Estala, and Hanumo are more than willing to let the apocalypse happen when the gods break free. We've seen in the future that the gods win that fight. Contarara isn't behind this happening, but it seems as though she's very much on the side of
Let's end the world.
let the apocalypse happen, because we're pretty sure she's the one that sent the people to destroy what Severil is repairing.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
This is very complicated.
It is.
It's
but,
timey-wimey. Wibbly wobbly.
time travel.
Wobbly.
You think it's complicated for you? Try coming up with a damn idea.
Yeah.
So, yes. I agree. We need to Ridugita, God Realm. So we need to accelerate what is happening downstairs in the lab,
Mm-hmm.
to which end I think the Grandmaster can be of assistance there. And maybe myself, Kral, Atan need to go down and start getting involved. So I
Well,
think,
I'm not entirely sure I'll be much help talking to
I
several
can
earlier.
walk for you.
sorry,
Say that again, James.
I could just blow them all up.
who?
The gods. Lots of fire.
Well, you could certainly try.
It'd
We
be,
But-
don't intend to blow all of the gods up.
it would be great fun trying that, wouldn't it?
Okay, so the privacy bubble is about to end. So, has anybody got any last thoughts upon this course of
Nothing
events
that
before we
specifically requires the
cannot
bubble.
speak about it anymore?
I would say that if we do end up fighting, the ones we may have to take out are the ones to do with which would benefit this mostly.
Ones we will have to fight would be Vastor, Hunumo, Estala, and Lask.
As a
I do
bonus
not know
side
about any of
effect,
the others.
if we kill Vastro, then Jakota is free.
Yes, so Jakoto is more than willing to aid us, whether she would come into the realm. It will also put ease at my soul if we dealt with Penumo, and Renee would be prevented from her.
But also, what happens to that power? Whoever kills them becomes that deity?
No, I think we then release the old gods, or when we have released the old gods, there will be a power sharing agreement.
Death existed before Vastro.
Yes, quite. As did time.
I think it is. There's a lot that we do not know, and we'll have to figure it out.
Okay, yes, I think so. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to go down. Well, assuming that Grandmaster Stanier drops my key back to me, I'm going to go down to the laboratory and start to help with the repairs, so that we can get to where we need to get to quicker.
I want to as well, but several how we explained some things down there before. I don't think I am capable of helping.
I don't
Right.
think he would let you. That is more of what Several does. He is
Yes.
very much a wizard.
Yes.
I apologize, Master. It is a bit of a generalization, but Several is the worst of wizardly features.
Now, well, there are. I understand that you non-magical people, is the right way of saying it, I think, can be confused when wizards start to expound on theories and talk shop, as it were. I don't think that's quite right. Several is a spiky personality and likes to work alone. So perhaps calling him a typical wizard is a bit.
I more refer to his vanity and pride.
Yes, but lots of different people have vanity and pride. It's not just wizards, you know. We've just completed a
I think I
test
need
where
to go.
vanity and pride were tested on someone who does not wield magic.
I think I am getting riled up at the thought of facing Riddigita. I think I am going to go and meditate for a while.
Okay,
I apologize, Master.
no, that's fine.
I'm just going to go outside.
Okay.
Get smoke.
Light a pipe. We'll cut over to the lab. As you're following Several as he's working away and writing notes in language you don't even know is a proper language, or whether it's his own custom notation. There's a voice from the doorway. Several! He calls. Several looks round and he's just yeah, there's almost a, oh, for fuck's sake, look on his face as he turns around.
And Kroll basically rolls his eyes because he knows what's about to happen.
Just a moment. And he finishes up what he's doing. And he flies over to Stanyard. And as he lands, Stanyard kind of waves his hand in a way that you've seen Mazdak do plenty of times. And there's a privacy bubble popped up between them.
Hey, I'm the only one who knows that.
You were the only one.
You
The dragon
got it
taught
from
me.
Seti,
Yes.
and Stanyard was once married to Lemintarax.
Oh, fair enough.
Who is
Okay, that's
There's-
cool. No, okay, I get it.
Yeah, you're not his first.
I thought I was the special one.
He's inherited from his
special.
in-laws.
but from the outside, the privacy bubble obviously excludes any audio coming from. It also sort of seems to obscure various bits you can't, like, even if you could lip read, you don't think you could tell. All you can really get is clear gesticulations between the two gentlemen. They're both suddenly Italian.
Clearly, like,
Violently Italian.
legend,
Nice.
yeah.
Violently Italian. And this goes on for the full 10 minutes before the bubble kind of.
Krog gets completely bored by this bullshit immediately, and he just turns back and starts basically noting various bits of this thing, and he starts basically mapping it. And using what he's discussed with Mazdak on numerous occasions, he's basically going to start mapping this place as to where the power conduit is.
Okay. Do some sort of check.
A check.
Let's-
Wow.
A check.
Nice. What are they?
We don't really do. Yeah, sorry, it's not very very dice heavy session. We've had like 4 sessions of fighting, so
Yeah.
we're good.
We're going to take an evening off.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, like a sort of tools check, really, because it is sort of within your domain.
Because so it's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Okay. That's a 15 on the dice. Do we my intelligence and proficiency?
Yeah.
Okay, 24.
Okay,
Well,
nice.
I'm
Yeah.
also going to use, if I can, because I'm going to have Hez and Scafflock at 2 different points so I can get different perspectives when I need them. Can I use my Flash of Genius on myself?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So up to 29.
29.
Nice.
Okay. You have got really clear diagram of everything that's going on here, about what power units and circuits are traveling to which points and everything. Yeah, you've kind of got.
Essentially, anybody looking at him would basically see like the D&D equivalent of the large blue blueprint paper just on the floor, and he's basically got various like mechanical pencils making these diagrams.
Nice.
Yeah. And as the bubble drops, there's just some final sort of words between the two of Several, that is my final word. And Several just fine. You turtle with me. As he summons you. Several summons you, Kral.
Kral will literally just slowly turn and just look at him.
He's walking.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And he's going to fold up his drawing, and he's going to basically just turn around, pack up, and you're just hearing sort of like whistle at Scafflock, and just a few clicks will go over to Kez, and the two will just come back to his shoulders, and he'll pick up and just follow.
I feel like this is the perfect time for Kral to actually be a turtle and just walk really slowly.
Yeah, he's not going to rush himself. He's literally just going to lumber.
If I was Kral, I would just sit on the chair and just retract and be like, fuck this shit.
No, because he's warring with actually sort of being spoken to like that, and also the fact that he's in his element. This shit is kind of like he's where he wants to be all the time. Mechanics and magic.
So, Staniard seemingly has kicked Several out. Kral has gone with Several.
Does the Grandmaster stay inside?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't know if he's going to stay there
Right.
permanently, but he doesn't move as you leave.
Right. Okay.
And as Several gets out of the lab back up top, and you follow, he just says to you, "We need to talk with your friends."
I believe that you're probably right, but if you don't mind, and he'll sort of hand him the blueprint that he's made. Tell me if I got this right. as we walk.
Fine. He's looking at it. Yeah, and he wanders whilst looking at this thing. He looks at it for 2 minutes. So not you know on the details that you've got on this thing, he hasn't taken everything in.
Yeah.
Just, yes, looks fine. And folds it up and hands it back.
Okay.
And you get back to the house where everyone is, and now Carl and Several is as well, and that's where we'll finish for tonight.
Hey! Awesome. It's going just about as well as I thought it would. With those three in the same room, it was just like, oh god.
To be fair, I'm really hoping that Stanyard just told Several to fucking get some rest, because he was bollocksed when me and Kral went in there. Sorry,
Yeah.
really bad English. Kral and I went in there, but yeah.
Yeah, the
It's,
word bollocks we'll skip right over. And... oh, it's Kral and I that were bollocksed.
But yeah,
that
it's,
Super.
No, that was
Turns
really,
out it
really
was,
good fun. Thank you.
a probably
Martin.
kill between Stanyards, Several, and Lermy that ended really, really badly.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah,
I
no,
was just going to state the obvious. Sorry.
no, you go ahead.
I was just going to state the obvious that given that, all three of them came out of the lab alive, that did go well.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Well, no, 2 of us exited the lab alive. We don't know if the 3rd person came out yet.
In theory, 3 people survived the conversation, so.
Yeah, the conversation has stopped and nobody's dead that we know of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stanyard's just been paralysed and turned to stone.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you, Martin. That was really good fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. It was really, really excellent.
Yes.
Some,
Some excellent RPing tonight, guys.
some wild theory crafting happening.
Yeah. Any thoughts? Any conspiracy beards?
That wasn't Stanyard.
I think I've stated this before, but I think that we can't remove the new gods from the divine realm. I think they've been there for too long that they are now entrenched in it.
See, if that
Whether
were
that will be true of Dask, I don't know, but
But the
Hold the
thing is,
table question for. Sorry, Kral.
sorry, the new gods technically usurped the roles and powers of the old gods. So if we free the old gods, realistically speaking, we could kill the current pantheon without really much.
possibly.
Yeah. I never thought about it like this before, with how Mazdak said it to, or when we were all talking. But the only ones that really get anything out of this are basically
Death.
the gods of death
Murder.
and yeah.
Disease.
And yeah, I just think that if anything goes down with those, it's got to be those to go first.
Yeah.
Because then there is potentially some amicable agreement between old and new if it happens, or between us and you to
Yeah,
stop
I mean,
all of this.
that was always Mazdak's goal, certainly, was to get the old gods and the new gods talking to remove Desk because of the weird time manipulation she's done as installing herself as the head of the
Yeah,
gods.
yeah.
And there was no head of the gods before. It's
I've
going
just
to
had a
only
thought
be a
as
bad
well.
thing.
We need to put it across like it is. I know it's D&D and it's all fantasy and make believe, but almost like real world with deities, with gods, where there are many different religions. So maybe the new and old can coexist.
It's possible.
And we
But
just
we
kill
don't
table
know enough.
we just kill anyone that disagrees.
Yeah, that should go down well.
I think it's possible. I think it's highly probable though, because the old gods will want revenge on the new gods, won't they?
Yeah, there's a whole. What I'm struggling with as like the storyline is knowing why the new gods did what they did from mortals
Power.
wanting that. Was it power? Was it just power, or was it to be
Bernier
all of that.
has spoken to Nagale about the situation, and I think Nagale was actually somewhat remorseful about what they had done as a group.
Oh, so it was just magical folk wanting more power, essentially.
I think they were led by Vastro.
Yeah, they were led by
What, initially?
Vastro. What we've found out so far is they were led by Vastro originally, and they essentially invaded the realm of the gods because they wanted more divine power.
Right. Okay.
It was also were the disasters happening before they invaded or during the time they invaded? I'm trying to remember because Jakoto told us about a lot of disasters happening.
that was
around
when
the time
the gods were
When
fighting.
they were.
when they were fighting. Cool. So yeah, that's what will lead to the apocalypse.
But the main thing is that the gods can fight. It doesn't matter. But I think that last rift is the big boom,
Oh,
essentially.
it definitely is.
Yeah, that is what it is.
Yeah.
It's the crescendo.
The
But
Big
then
Bang.
the last rift is the old god of time breaking
Free. Yeah. It's not the
Then
fighting.
there is-
It's the fighting comes afterwards.
Yeah, I think
Fighting comes afterwards. That's the apocalypse, and then we've seen that the new gods do actually end up winning that fight, but at the cost of a lot on the material plane. Because, as stated, gods like Nagale were very quiet in that future,
Yes.
whereas Hanumo and Vastro and that were all still thriving. And Jakoto was still alive, much to her chagrin, I imagine.
yeah.
Mhm. She was probably somewhat annoyed.
Miss D, you
Oh.
had a question.
I had several questions.
Okay.
Well, one kind of statement in terms of how do you harm a god, and my thought was take away their followers, but that's kind of a slightly longer term campaign than 3 weeks would allow.
Yeah.
And then above the table question for the DM: have you read the Malazan Book of the Fallen series?
No.
Fair enough. Because there's a wonderful. It's not the main plot, because the main plot focuses on the mortals in the series. But in the story, there are a series of new and newish gods that have just replaced the old, and sometimes mortals interfering where they shouldn't and forcibly replacing the gods by accident, which results in various situations.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, the DM's now got more
It's a series of 10 books,
ammunition.
slightly epic. One of my favourite exchanges is because you have some mortals that are able to see the gods, where they're like god touched. And one particular mortal gets pissed off with the twin gods of fortune and misfortune, basically. And you have this wonderful scene where the two of them are arguing in the ruins of a tower, and this person goes, I'm done with this, and dips out, but not before setting an explosion off. Because it's not going to kill them, but it's still going to piss them off.
Nice.
I love it.
So you're suggesting that we don't kill them, we just piss them off? Cool, got it.
No, I'm just saying in that series it never went particularly well for anybody.
You say representation of gods in various different settings. I mean, probably one of my favourite is the way that they represent the Orcish gods in Warhammer. And it's less a case of they are gods in the traditional sense. It's more a case of if you get enough orcs in one place, they all believe and have the same purpose and kind of just manifest it to happen. And it's kind of like it's hilarious. And then there's this other race which is the Tau, and they are deeply non-religious and like space communists basically, but because they kind of absorb different races and different planets into their sphere of influence, because they've absorbed so many humans into the greater good, they've actually manifested. Yeah, they've actually manifested a god, which is a godly form of the greater good in the warp itself, because so many humans have actually believed in the greater good, and that belief has created a new god. Ostensibly for a race that is non-religious.
Nice. Right. Well.
Yeah, so I went and looked up while you were talking about what happened. I went and looked up my notes for what I'd written on basically the speech that Jakoto gives you after the fight, telling you the story. So I've pasted that in, so you've actually got that as a
Nice.
reference.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, but generally speaking, the kind of inspiration for Old Gods, New Gods was sort of just Greek mythology, like the
Yeah.
god of time, Kronos, is
Yeah.
the Titan, the old god locked
Yeah.
away.
And now we have Chromie. WoW fans. Sorry.
So, yeah.
I think the debate around the weapons is interesting.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see what happens there.
So I'm sitting there thinking, I feel like
Also-
Bernier would rather christen a new weapon rather than use an older one.
I was not involved in that conversation, but Kroll would have put his 2 pence in and basically said, divine weapons in the divine realm would, in theory, be infinitely more powerful than they are in the material plane.
And I can't
Bernie's-
stand saying I'm already divine, darling.
Bernie's only decision is whether it's going to be herpes or gonorrhea.
But then you go to the brothel and comes back with a case of the clap.
Yeah.
And then once she's attuned to the sword, the aura kicks in and the disease is gone. But no, it's more a thing of whether Bernier and Sasha would actually want to use the weapons. I think Sasha needs to have a sit down and a chat with Amriel with Morgrax.
And I think Mazdak's point
attack.
was valid.
100%.
Whereas,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if it was Mazdak that was considering this, everybody
Yeah.
would be having a pop.
That was
that's
so brilliantly democratically put from Mazdak.
And that's
And
what
I
caused
could
Bernier
see
to kind of like stop in her tracks on that.
The only plus for Bernier is that you've had the blessing from Nagale,
Yes.
which kind of leads me to believe, and maybe putting more ideas into the DM's head, but once you attune to it, maybe it then over time would become Nagale's weapon with changes, rather than it being what it is.
Well, as already said, there's an overlap between the two with where it's
Yeah.
used and things like that. Art.
The idea of Bernier using that sword is fine, is fitting. Because, yeah, disease is a natural thing, although it's under the domain of a different god, a not very nice god, but it is of the natural order. The idea of a celestial or a celestial descended creature using a scythe of death is maybe slightly different question.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It's
Maybe
one
more
of those
Rex
things-
could invite you along to one of our chats.
Yeah, afternoon tea with Amriel.
Right,
it's
guys.
one of those things. Oh,
I've got to work in the morning. Thank
Yeah,
you very
so,
much.
so
Yeah.
we will be back here on Tuesday for Hadron Rising. We are not here next Sunday, is that right? Or we are here next Sunday? I can't remember. Miss D,
I think
What
Okay.
does the event say?
yeah. I think Miss D
This
said
Sunday I
we
think
were...
I'll be able to make.
Thank God, the weekend is next week.
Yes.
I've been chatting with my friend. It's my friend Kanda that I usually go over to visit. She's coming over here this year.
Right.
I had completely mucked up the dates because I thought she was getting here on Saturday. Turns out she's getting here on Tuesday, but won't actually be in Dublin until the following Monday. So I will be good for Sunday.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So yeah, we'll be back here on Tuesday for Hadron Rising, and next Sunday for the conclusion, or the next part of the Investigators. So if you liked it, fantastic. We love you. You're just one of the best people we know. To be honest, you're just marvelous. If you didn't like it, however, well, you know what you can do, don't you? Off you fuck.